Okay, Roman here. We have started album recording and we are tracking drums today. And I thought I'd give you a preview in what's about to come on the record and explain to you how we record the drums. Since that's the first time for us that we track the drums by ourselves, a lot of new things that we encountered during the setup. In total we have a number of 22 tracks that we are recording for drums. Seems a lot, but I think the advantage is it gives us flexibility during mixing later on. So we can use some microphones that only during the verse and others only during the chorus and give a certain flavor to the drums. Alright, let's start with the close-up microphones on the drum set. In our kick drum. So on the kick drum we have 3 microphones in total. In the inside we have the Shure Beta 91 that gives us mainly the kick of the drum, and then in front of the drum we have another two microphones. We have a large diaphragm condenser, it's the Lewitt LCT 440, and we have the Solomon sub kick. Gives us the steady low end of the kick. Let's move on to snare drum. Snare drum we also have 3 microphones. 2 on top, the old classic Shure SM57, and next to it I put a small AKG C430, it's a small condenser microphone, and underneath this snare drum there's another Shure SM57. Toms, that's the latest addition to my microphone collection. It's the Earthworks EM20, 4 in total. On the hi-hat we have SE Electronics, I believe the model is SE4, small condenser microphone. And we have underneath the right cymbal another small condenser, it's also an AKG C430. Overheads, we are using the AKG C240 large diaphragm condenser that give us the top picture of the drum set. My philosophy is not only to capture not only the cymbals, but more or less the entire picture of the drum set. So that's it for the close-up microphones. And we have a whole collection of room microphones. Let's start with this one. This it's the Snare Crush microphone. It's a Shure SM7B. It's supposed to capture snare, kick drum, some toms, and later in the mix we will compress it very hard and put a low pass filter to take out the cymbals and then bring forward the snare and kick drum in the mix. That's this guy for. Another, you may call it crush microphone, is this guy here. Another Lewitt LCT 440. I guarded it with this guitar cabinet just to make sure there's not too much direct sound going into the microphone. I want to capture more like the room part of the sound. Later on this will also be really compressed a lot and is supposed to bring out the kick drum. Maybe even a little distorted. Maybe we put some distortion on this guy, some compression, and then yeah, it will, I think, help in the mix. Room microphone. This lady or gentleman, I don't know, it's a Royer R1 stereo microphone, and it's a ribbon microphone. So there are 2 ribbons, there's one here and another one on top, and both ribbons are arranged in a 90 angle degree, and I turn it in a way that they are in a so-called bloom line arrangement. So that means one ribbon is facing this direction, the other ribbon is facing this direction, and we are capturing, I believe, a nice representation of the room again. So this is my closed room stereo. Then we have another stereo set of microphones. That is the AKG C414. They are facing the wall, so we capture some reflections from the wall. But they are set to figure eight pattern. That means they also capture something from the room behind. Yeah. So that's a stereo microphone. And then the icing on the cake is here in our concrete staircase. You may have a listen. Nice natural reverb. So when I record the drums, I leave the door open, and then we have this small microphone. It's a SE Electronics Voodoo VR2 ribbon microphone. And that's an active, I believe the VR1 is a passive, and that's the active version, so it runs with phantom power. And it's also a figure eight pattern, so it captures sound in front and behind the microphone. That's a mono room. That's the microphone setup. Basically, I do all the recording by myself. I use the Logic remote app on the iPad. So that means in our control room, I have the computer running my Logic session, and I can remote record everything from the iPad here. Let's move over to our control room and have a look on the preamps that we are using. So my little mobile recording rack that I put together, the centerpiece is a Persona Studio 192 interface. It's a 26 channel interface, and then I have the two more analog to digital converters that are running through ADAT into the Personas interface. It's the Behringer, what's this guy called? Behringer Ultra Gain preamp. It's an 8-channel preamp. Then I have from Audient the ASP880, also another 8-channel preamp. Then I have the Warm Audio WA273 preamp and EQ. It's a stereo preamp. I'm running here the kick-in microphone and the snare top microphone because they represent the centerpiece of my drum set, so I gave them the premium preamp. And underneath it's another Warm Audio preamp. It's the WA412. It's a 4-channel preamp, and here I'm running the 4 tom microphones. Yeah, and then so this goes straight into Logic, and from there I do all the recording. Alright, so far it's running well. I've already recorded 2 songs, and let's keep going. I keep you updated.